Hey everybody, so we're back for another What's on the Shelf, and we're now on part 29. So on this shelf I have Robo Rally, Lords of Waterdeep. I have the horse racing game, Escape the Curse of the Temple Big Box, as well as Disc Dash. These tends to be the bigger box games that don't fit on a cubby as well, or Lord of Waterdeep is just you cannot store that one vertically, everything falls off. So the first one I have is Robo Rally. So from what I understand, Robo Rally is a programming game where each player have different cards and they'll program the movement of their robot. And so you plan a few moves in a row, and then when this turn starts, your robot has to do these movement. But depending on what the other players are doing, it may interfere with what you were hoping to do, so it could change things around. I've never played this one. It's one that I've watched tutorial on, and I've opened the box, and it's neat because the boards that you place together to create the board you're going to play are double-sided, and there's a lot of them, so it looks like there's a lot of replayability here. You've got these lines on the board that will kind of push your robot along. It looks really interesting. I've heard lots and lots of good stuff about this game. I just gotta get it played sometime. Next, I have Lord of Waterdeep, and this is probably one of the first game that I've played when I got into the board game hobby. It's a worker placement, and it's really neat with how you gotta collect different resources to complete your missions. This one, I really enjoy this one. And it was the very first game that I played that was a worker placement, and I was just blown away by it. So it was really neat. A friend of mine is saying how they play where if you take missions card, you've got to complete them by the end of the game, otherwise they count as negative points. And I get that that's probably house ruling the game a little bit, but I'm really intrigued by it and kind of am curious to try it that way, so I think I will definitely be giving that a try at some point. The next one I have is the horse race game. This isn't really what my copy looks like, but I couldn't find any stats on this game. So it's just a wooden board that have the little horses in each track, and the track goes from 2 to 12. And you play this with a pair of dice and a deck of cards and some poker chips. So everybody gets poker chips, and you take the aces and the king and the queen out of the deck of cards, and you shuffle and you pass out the entire deck of cards to everybody playing. So you can play a large group with this one. And then when you get your cards, whatever number you have, those are horses that you have tickets on, basically. So you start by rolling the dice 4 times because you're scratching some horses. So if you roll a 3, the first one, then every time you're in the game, you're going to roll a 3. The third horse is going to cost you a chip that you're going to have to put into the pot. And so you'll have 4. So one is going to cost you 1 coin, one's going to cost you 2, 3, and 4, and so on. And of course, 7 always seems to be one that'll come up that you end up having to pay for. And then it's also one that you'll tend to roll the dice for as well. Then all the other horses that haven't been scratched are in the race. And you go around rolling the dice and either paying into the pot if you roll one of the scratched horses, or your horse, if you roll a horse that's still in the race, then every time you roll that number, that horse is going to move forward by 1. And you play going around until you have a winner. And then whichever horse wins, so let's say it was horse number 4, everyone who's got the card, a card with the number 4 on it, is part of the winner. So there'll be 4 of them because each deck of cards have 4 of each numbers. And you separate the pot into 4, and then for however many 4 tickets you have, then you get that back into the pot. It's kind of a neat horse racing gambling type game, and it just gets really fun because we will get playing and you really cheer for your horse, trying to get, you know, mostly if you have like 3 4s in your hand and you're like, you really want horse number 4 to win. It's been a really fun crowd pleaser one for sure. Next I have is Escape the Curse of the Temple Big Box. So with this one, it comes with a CD, but I never play with a CD because you can download the file on YouTube. And it plays this music that goes along with it, and it's kind of, you know, jungle, ominous music, and then at some point you'll have gong that goes off. And with this one is you put the board together, and this is a big box, so it has all the expansions in it, and instead of just being 4 players, it can play up to 6. Every player get a set of dice that they'll be rolling, and you start in the middle, and then so it tells you if you want to go a certain way what you need to roll. So maybe you need 2 runners, so then you roll until you have 2 runners and you can go into that room, and then you roll again and you can bring up a new tile, and you develop your temple as you go around. The temple is gonna have gems. Like some rooms you'll discover that there's gem, and when you get to a room that has potential gem, you gotta roll to be able to put the gems onto it, because you're trying to escape this temple. And to escape the temple, once you get to the big door, you gotta find that. You gotta roll what you need to get out, but then for however many gems, you gotta roll an extra one as well. So you're trying to allocate these gems elsewhere to make it easier to escape. So you'll come into these rooms that have like the 3 spots to do gems, and then you roll, and you can actually match up with other people, so people can meet you in that room and help you roll what you need. And you're trying to roll as many so you can allocate as many gems there as you can to lower the gems at the final door. If you ever roll, it's like the black side of the dice, that dice is locked until you roll a golden one. If you roll a golden dice, that will unlock 2 black ones. So every once in a while you might be rolling, and then all of a sudden all of your dices are black and you're completely locked, and you're like, oh my god, help me. So somebody's got to try to make it into your room and try to roll a golden dice they can lend you so you can unlock some of your dice. And then and it plays in 10 minutes, and you've got that music playing, and then a gong comes off, and then when the gong goes off, you got to run back into the safety area before, so you don't get trapped. And it's a real-time game. It gets so hectic. It's fun. It is such a neat, fun game. I've got to say, I haven't played with a lot of the expansions all that much, because just the base game has been stressful enough that we haven't played with a lot of the other stuff. But really neat, really one I should bring out again. And yeah, to kind of try to make it through the temple and escape before time runs out. So next one I have is Disc Dash, and we got this one at Christmas, and it's a 2-player game. I haven't got tons of information on it, but it's a board that has like a rim on it, and there's a board that goes across the middle, and there's a little hole in it, and you get all these discs that is divided between each side, and you have an elastic towards the back, and what you need to do is grab these discs, pull it up against the elastic, and kind of let it shoot through and trying to get through the hole. So the goal of the game is try to get all of the disc on the other side and have your side clear. So you're quickly flicking these discs across the board, trying to get them out, and then they're doing the same on the other side as they're coming through. And sometimes they're about to go through, but they bang together, and it's a hectic game, but it's been really fun actually. My kids are really enjoying this one. So that's what the board looks like if I didn't do a good enough description there. But so you got these little discs, and you're pulling them up against this elastic to slingshot them across the board and trying to get them on the other side. It's been a neat game. We had like a family tournament at this where we were playing everybody and then kind of come up with the ultimate winner. And like my teenage boys like almost injured their arm, like oh my god, because they got so into it. It was neat. It's a neat, simple dexterity game that's just simple fun, right? And then that was it for that cupboard. So if you want to follow me, I'm on Facebook as Disbury and Area is playing all the games. I am also on Instagram under boardgame_mama, and my YouTube channel is Board Game Mama. So stay tuned to see what's next on my shelf.